Data storytelling for executives. Oh my gosh. This is like, again, it's going to be something that you constantly practice. It's something that you're always going to walk away from every, board meeting and go, okay, I did it. I got that big ask out there, which was huge. And you're probably going to be so proud of yourself. And did you get them to make a decision? Did you get them to commit? And if you did, all of a sudden now, that could be something that is your big KPI that you're going to really focus in on and make sure that that data is super right, because now you're on the hook, right? Now they want to hear what's going to happen next. They're invested in the end result. A lot of like what I do in managed services is really helping my customer with a custom solution, but I have to sit them down and go, what does good look like? Because I don't always want to be the one that's the expert and says what it should look like. I need them to kind of be a part of that solution ideation, because if it's their baby too, they're going to be way more invested in seeing it be successful. It's not this tug of war where I'm constantly going in and trying to convince them all the time. They're going to be asking me about it because they care about it. And so, again, data storytelling is when you get them to like really be invested in the character. I love watching Netflix. I love watching shows and movies. And like, even if the main character is like a little bit of a protagonist, you get so invested in seeing them, be hopefully safe or make it to the end, or, have a happy ending. And so that's kind of like where you want to be. That's the sweet spot of storytelling. And so rule number one is anchor everything in the ROI. Speak their language. Tell them like, hey, what did we do? What's changing? What changed? Maybe the market changed. Maybe there's a new tariff going on. What's going to hurt us? What's going to be our obstacle we have to overcome? That's that building the plot, getting the drama going. What's at risk? And then what do we need to do next? And that's when you do the ask, because you're like getting them emotionally tied in. Rule number two, speak their language. So it's okay if you don't have a VT mom. This is a totally, random acronym I threw at you today. If you've never heard of it, no worries. But it might be a good exercise, especially like if you have that breathing time, to sit down, maybe on a Friday, who knows what your life is like, but like, I need some Einstein time. I need to sit down and really think, do I truly understand, what our vision is as a company? Do I really understand our values? Do I understand the methods? Are my methods aligned with pushing that vision? Am I calling out the right obstacles early enough? Am I giving them, enough information so that they can make an informed decision? Are we measuring the right things? Again, you guys as CFOs, you're thinking about growth. You're thinking about ROI. You're thinking about cost discipline. Your CEO is thinking about the brand. So, how can you kind of tailor the investments that you're asking for to propel the brand to be successful and have longevity in it? What's your legal talking about? Your legal team and your risk leaders, they're talking about exposure, right? So it's a totally different perspective. They're the ones telling you why you can't do things. And then you have, same data, but totally different perspectives. And that clarity in those narratives, this is where your finesse in being able to really, speak everyone's language is going to be so important. It's the hardest part. All right, rule number three, predict those outcomes, not activity. So again, don't report on the busy work, report on that big, you guys talked about high effort, high ROI. So your job is not to report on what happened and report on the weather. It's about explaining, what's going to happen next. And if they can act or not act, what's the implications of that? Rule number four, make bold and simple asks. And root yourself in data. Like I love telling them, if you do this, this is show them the numbers. If we don't do this, this is the numbers. And again, what can we pause? And if we pause this, we will actually impact that number even better, and why. And again, those are those leading and lagging data points that are going to make you seem like a magician when those things actually come into play. And they're going to follow your lead every time if that is something that you can be known for. Lastly is build that trust and really focus on proactive governance. There's nothing worse than surprises. I talked about that earlier. Executives might not want every detail, but how do you protect them? How do you protect, through the stories that you tell, being able to tell them like about the dumpster fire that you guys could avoid if you were actually to do something even better and really stop and make sure the product is more accurate, more reliable, more trustworthy systems to keep building your brand. And just to bring it home, I think that all of you guys kind of got the message. I hope I've kept it as simple as possible. But you have a really great opportunity to shape your business. And the strategy is, again, it's what you choose. Thank you so much for being here today.